The 100-meter dash is the most popular event in all of track and field, because if you win that event at the highest level, you can call yourself the fastest man in the world. And the AAU Junior Olympics has allowed youth athletes to compete in all the track and field events long before a child is ready to go to college. They crown a champion in each of them, but most people pay very close attention to whoever wins the 100. So what really happens to the fastest boys at the Junior Olympics? Do they go on to become NCAA champions or Olympic medalists? Because finishing in the front of the race is a very big deal, but nobody's really going to care that much if you can't figure out how to stay in the front of the race when you get older. To answer this question, I looked at the AAU Junior Olympic champions in the youth division, which is the 14 and under category. Not to be confused with the USATF Junior Olympics, which is technically a separate championship. These boys were technically the fastest ones who were headed into high school as freshmen. And what I found is that they all fit into 3 categories. Some of them are contenders, who are actually legit sprinters who will show up on television later in their careers. And then there are the athletes, who never saw track and field as their biggest priority anyway, because after all, football is king. And finally, there are the opportunists. No disrespect, but they were never all that good to begin with. But they were in the right place at the right time to become a Junior Olympic champion. And I want to be very clear about this from this point on. Winning the Junior Olympics in the youth division is not a very strong predictor of what will happen later in any track athlete's career. Whichever kid knows how to sprint and has already gone through puberty is likely going to win. There's almost no way to know where those athletes will end up years later. So the answers I'm about to give are likely going to shock you from here on out. Starting off with the contenders, because some of the athletes who win the Junior Olympics are actually legitimate sprinters who will dominate to a degree when they get to the NCAA level. They may not win an NCAA championship, or at least none of these guys did, but they are still a threat to win against just about any sprinter they line up against, unless you are truly world class. Marcellus Moore in 2016 is proof of this, because he tied the Junior Olympic record running 10.81 seconds and went on to compete for Purdue in the Big Ten before transferring to the Texas Longhorns. He was a state record holder in Illinois and an NCAA championship finalist, and he's now the school record holder in the 60-meter dash for the Texas Longhorns. And that is a program where that record actually matters. But he is not the only one. The winner in 2015 was Kennedy Lightner, and he started his career off as a junior college All-American before transferring to the Kentucky Wildcats after one season. He won conference medals at the SEC championships and threatened to score points at the NCAAs. Vincent Saucer in 2009 was not quite as good as either of them in high school, but still became a legitimate sprinter in college because he won a Big Ten championship while running for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Xavier Atkins in 2010 proved to be an incredibly talented sprinter at the high school level. He was a junior college All-American who never ran for any four-year schools, which is a shame because he ran 10.18 seconds in junior college. And beyond that, not every talented 14-year-old even wants to run track in college. Amir Rasul from 2012 continued on to break 10.5 in high school, but he didn't run track in college at all and chose to play football for Middle Tennessee State, which is Division I. And that's nothing compared to Hakim Ruffin in 2014. He was a state champion in Louisiana and chose to keep running after high school, but not for any college, and he didn't technically turn pro either. He's still running in 2023 and is about as fast as he was in high school, which was a PR of 10:48. And don't get me wrong, that is good, but nowhere near fast enough to even qualify for the USA Championships, though most people don't even notice him when he runs unattached. All these men are good, but not good enough to run at the actual Olympics, or even the American Championships. They're basically that next level below it, where their Junior Olympic Championship might still become their greatest achievement in track and field. Which brings us to the second group, whom I call the athletes, where their hearts were never really in track and field to begin with. They were good, but really wanted to play football at the college level above all else. Some of them were incredibly talented, like Marcellus Moore and Amir Rasul, who went on to play football in college. But only Marcellus actually ran track in college, and he had way more success doing that than he ever did on the field. But Croix Stewart in 2018 followed Amir's example and didn't compete in college at all in track and field. They were both 3-star football recruits, and he chose to attend UCLA and even touched the field a little bit as a freshman. But Taj Griffin is the craziest example of them all, cause in 2011, he won the Junior Olympics 100. But that's about it for his track career. He never really took it seriously after that. But that speed helped him out as a 4-star football recruit who played for the Oregon Ducks, although he didn't play all that much, and he finished his college career at Central Oklahoma University, which is Division II. Even at that level, he was not the star of the team, which has to make you wonder, what could he really have done if he ever took track seriously? And I get it. At 14 years old, there will be many young men who will lose interest in track and field. But there will be many others who haven't even found the sport yet. And those kids can also become their biggest competition. Like Arian Knighton. He wasn't even running at the AAU Junior Olympics when he was 14. But by the time he was 16, he was there and he was breaking records. So predicting the future of a Junior Olympic athlete at 14 years old is basically rolling dice. And sometimes the odds are in your favor, and those athletes are the opportunists. They were in the right place at the right time. That's how I would describe Taj Griffin, a fast kid who never took the sport all that seriously, because he quit immediately thereafter, while he was ahead. Athletes like Rashaad Pollard in 2013 were good, don't get me wrong, but he didn't really improve in high school and finished with a PR of 10.61, and later ran for Division II Alabama Huntsville University, where he would never break his high school PRs either. His biggest college accomplishment has to be running on the 4x1 at the Division II National Championship meet, in the finals, so I guess that's a success. However, the most unlikely champion of all has to be Galen Johnson in 2017. He barely broke 11 seconds in high school, which is not much faster than what he did when he was 14, and he ran Division II for Albany State University. Barely, because he only ran a little bit there, and that was it. So the AAU Junior Olympics is a great track and field event for young athletes to prove themselves. But that is really all it is at the younger ages. At 14 years old, these boys proved that being the best is only as good as your competition. But you can only race whoever shows up to the meet. And at the NCAA level and beyond, some of the best sprinters in the world will be showing up and showing out. Sprinters who won't be intimidated by anything that you accomplished when you were 14 years old. I'm not saying that it doesn't matter who wins the Junior Olympics, but what I am saying is that it doesn't really matter how fast you start, as much as it does how well you finish. I'm Coach Rob, and thank you so much for watching this video. And if you want to see more content like this, then please like and subscribe.